But usually when Halloween comes around, we do something unique to the season. We put on a mask. Now this year that isn't so novel, is it? We're already wearing masks. We have been for a long time. In fact, most of us are pretty tired of wearing them. And yet these masks are teaching us a lot. For one thing, they're a visible sign of caring. When I'm out and I see people wearing masks, I feel like saying to them, thank you. You're looking out for me. You're looking out for yourself. But you're also looking out for me. And with all the mask designs that are out there, I thought it would be great if there was one that just simply said, I love you. Because right now, wearing a mask is one way for us to love each other. We're also gaining from these masks a heightened appreciation of each other's entire faces. Is it not so? Like, don't you just miss seeing people's whole faces? I do. Sometimes when I'm talking to someone and we're, socially distanced wearing their masks, I feel like saying, would you just mind just pulling that down just for a quick second, just so I can see your entire face again? And when we have our Zoom meetings, I find myself just kind of staring at the beauty of each person's entire face. Because there's a big difference between looking at this and looking at this. Right? Huge difference. Did I just lose this? And we're also realizing from our mask wearing that we express a lot more through the lower half of our faces than we ever realized. Truly, when this part of our faces is covered up, everything just kind of looks a little flat. Back in June when we had our YOU graduation service, it was one of the only times since the COVID hit that we've actually had an indoor service with limited attendance. And we had the YOUers and their friends and family members come, and we spaced people apart, and everybody was wearing a mask. And after it was over, I said to Paul Mitchum, I said, well, how did that look on the live stream? And he said, it looked like we were holding everyone hostage. I'm sure, or at least I like to think that people were smiling underneath their masks, but we couldn't see it. So really, the point is that when we're wearing masks, we can't fully connect with one another. There's a part of us that is hidden or unavailable. Wearing masks actually blocks the expression of God as through and within us. And so it's a huge adjustment to get used to this kind of sense of being held back. So much going on. One moment. So when we realize that what these masks do is cut us off from one another, the lesson is also true about the masks that we don't see. Because yes, we have these visible masks on, these tangible masks, but the truth is that we wear masks. We put on masks every single day as we go about our daily lives. You just can't see them. We put up a front, we put up a facade in order to fit in order to meet expectations, or to keep ourselves safe. So you do this all the time. I do it too, right? If you're feeling sad, you put on a happy face. Or you may try to look calm when you're really feeling very anxious. Sometimes we try to make it seem that we're healthy when we're really sick. We might feign enthusiasm when we're actually bored. And sometimes we pretend to be very knowledgeable about something even though we truly don't have a clue. For the most part, these sort of behaviors are harmless. But the trouble occurs when we hide who we truly are in order to be who and what we think others expect and want us to be. When we really stuff down the essence of our uniqueness in order to fit some artificial standard. When I was in seminary, is it okay to step down here? It's so great to see you guys. When I was in seminary, we took a few classes in what is called homiletics, and homiletics is basically the art of giving a sermon. And so it was so obvious when we took the beginning of the first class that I and all my classmates were coming in there with this idea that we needed to look and sound ministerial, right? I mean, nobody said that out loud, but it was pretty obvious that we were each in our own way trying to come across as being very pious or wise or holy or some combination of all of those things. And what became so clear to me during the course of those classes is that we weren't there to fit into some predetermined mold of what it is to be a minister. We were there to more fully become and express who we were as individuals. So we were each becoming a minister in our own unique and special way. And so my friend Mike, he had a great sense of humor. He was very funny. And Charles was very irreverent. Jennifer always pulled up the Bible a lot. Heather was very down to earth, told a lot of stories about her children. Stan was filled with doubt, so he's always raising a lot of questions. Each unique in their own way, and as each person began to express more of who they truly were and bring their unique gifts to bear, they began to truly shine. And their words and their presence just rang with this incredible truth and power and love. You know, the lesson that I learned in that class is as true in life as it is in seminary, that we are not here to be someone we are not. We are here to be whom we most deeply and truly are. And what that means is be who you are with your unique sort of quirks, your opinions, your history, your challenges, your triumphs, your unique skills and talents, your way of being. Only you can be that. You know, Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." You're the light of the world. When you put up a false front, you are blocking your light. You're actually robbing the world of your true essence. You know, Jesus was all about authenticity, and I know a lot of people tend to think of Jesus as being this very cool, calm, and collected dude. Perhaps that's the case, but I like to think that Jesus expressed the full gamut of emotions, right? That he didn't hold back, that he fully felt and expressed whatever he was feeling at the time. So, for example, when he was with children, he was very gentle. When he turned the tables over in the temple, he was very angry. He got frustrated when they just weren't getting it. He was very sad when he heard that his friend Lazarus had been proclaimed dead. I believe that Jesus laughed. I believe that he had his moments of fear and doubt, such as in the Garden of Gethsemane. And I believe that he let go of the passion within him when he claimed that the kingdom of heaven is right here, right now. You see, Jesus, in my view, had his ups and downs, but he embraced them all and expressed them all in the course of being fully human, and in so doing paved the way for us to do the same. Jesus also saw past people's outer facades. Is it not true? I think he was masterful at looking beyond the masks or the labels that people were wearing or had been placed upon them in order to bless, behold, and bring forth the truth of the goodness in them. So he dined with the downtrodden, he befriended the oppressed, healed lepers, championed the Samaritans, empowered women. One of my favorite stories is that in John chapter 8, when Jesus is at the temple and the scribes and the Pharisees bring in a woman caught in the act of adultery. Start to say the art of adultery. The act of adultery. And do you ever wonder why they didn't bring the man in too? I mean, come on, takes two, right? But in any event, we kind of have a sense of that. But they came in and they said to Jesus, you know, under Mosaic law, she should be stoned, have stones thrown at her. And as we know, Jesus thought for a moment and then said to them, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." Well, that was a standard they couldn't meet. So one by one they left. But Jesus neither condemned the woman, nor did he condemn the men, but rather he turned to the woman and said, Go and sin no more. Go and sin no more. No blame, no shame. You see, he realized that we're all works in progress, and the important thing is that we keep learning and we keep growing. We keep trying. You know, I realize that it takes a lot of courage to be who you authentically are. We all face that in life. The challenge of speaking our truth, speaking up for ourselves, of setting our boundaries, of sharing our true feelings about things. It takes a lot of courage. It takes the courage to be vulnerable. But vulnerability is what brings us into the seat and the heart of our humanity. So we really got to drop that pretense of being perfect or invincible or unflappable. And let me just say, as I stand out here in the rain, not looking my best today, how much I appreciate as your minister that you have always given me permission to be vulnerable, to just stand before you as who I am. You know, to share my stories and shed my tears and tell you about whatever's going on in my life, my challenges. What an incredibly precious gift that is, to just encourage someone to be who you are. And I believe that we do that at Unity Renaissance all the time. And what I want most of all is to give that gift to each and every one of you so that you behold the face of God in yourself, so that you behold that unique light that you are. No one can shine that light like you can. So let it shine. There's a wonderful children's book. I'm sure you've all heard of it or perhaps read it. It's called The Velveteen Rabbit. It was written by Marjorie Williams. And it's a beautiful story about how a rabbit becomes real through the love of a little boy. It's a great story for children. It's also a great story for adults. Because the lesson is that we become real through openness and vulnerability. That truly we become healed and whole and happy when we are most truly loving and accepting of ourselves and each other. And let me just say that I think this is particularly important right now. I think it is particularly important that we are real with ourselves and real with each other. Because behind our masks, whether they're figurative or literal, there's a lot of hurt going on right now. There's a lot of pain. A lot of people are feeling frightened, sad, alone, lost, lonely. So we can open the way for a true and deep sharing of what's really going on. And that means finding ways to connect, to truly connect with one another. Brené Brown, in her great book, Daring Greatly, says, "Connection is why we're here. We're hardwired to connect with others. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives, and without it, there's suffering." A lot of people are suffering right now because they are not able to feel connected or connect with one another. But just because we can't connect in the usual easy ways that we once did doesn't mean that it can't happen. It just means we need to make a little bit more concerted effort. So today what I'm going to invite you to do, each and every one of you, is to find someone you trust and share with them from deep in your heart what's really going on with you. What's happening with you right now? And then listen and invite them to share what's happening for them. I'm going to invite you to be a part of community in whatever way it works for you here at Unity Renaissance, whether you show up for this incredible event this afternoon, whether you tune in online, come to one of our classes or workshops, find a way to connect. And further, when you go out there in the world, lift your consciousness so that you feel connected with everyone who's out there, whether they're like you or very, very different. There's a way to hold people in your heart, just as you even pass by them on the street. As the saying goes, be kind, for everyone is fighting some kind of battle. You see, we're not alone in this, we're together in this. And that beautiful sense of oneness, the presence of God will prevail. So I'm going to invite you to do one more thing this week. This is how I've been really reminding myself that there's a larger reality out there, right? There's a bigger life order than we even are aware of. So try this. When you go outside, whether it's raining or sunny or whatever it is, notice what's around you. Take it in and say this: I see you, God. And when you're with your families and friends and people like this, no matter who you encounter, say to yourself, I see you, God. And when you look in your own mirror at your own beautiful, unique, precious, whole face, say, I see you, God. I see you, God. Just as I am looking out at you today and looking at you who are watching online, taking in the great gift of Unity Renaissance and the love we share, and saying, I see you, God. Thank you. Thank you. Let's turn now to our meditation. I invite you to close your eyes, breathe in. If you're sitting out here in the parking lot with your umbrella, just enjoy that sound of the gentle rain. Wherever you are right now, close your eyes and breathe into that center of peace within you. Release and let go. Hold in your own heart the truth that I am. That I am is there present within you. That God is your source. That God within is your strength, your peace, your reassurance, your guidance. And know that this beautiful energy that connects us all is expressing through and as you in the most marvelous and unique and beautiful ways, seeking fuller expression. In what ways might you be blocking your own light? In what ways might you be holding back a truth that you need to speak? Where do you need to build a bridge or have an honest conversation? I invite you to connect with that beautiful light within you. Feel that sense of inner guidance for a few moments in the silence. On this Sunday, we are so filled with gratitude for the love that connects us no matter what is happening in our outer lives or our inner lives. We just take a moment now to appreciate that golden thread of God that connects us all. We bless it, we feel it, we celebrate it, and we express it in the way that only each of us can. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.